Have you ever met someone with whom there seemed to be a really strong connection, but just as the relationship started to deepen, he pulled away? Do you feel like there's a pattern that keeps repeating, where you end up attracting men who run away when real emotional commitment starts to appear? Today, through the lens of Carl Jung, we're going to explore why this happens, and, more importantly, what it has to do with you. Because yes, all of this also speaks about you, your unconscious, your wounds, and what you're projecting without even realizing it. When we talk about fear of commitment, we often picture a man who simply doesn't want to settle down. But from a Jungian psychological perspective, this goes much deeper. It's not a conscious choice, but an unconscious defense. Many men aren't afraid of commitment itself, but of what emotional commitment really means: being exposed, being vulnerable, opening unresolved wounds, losing control. Emotional commitment activates the unconscious, and what lies there isn't always pleasant. There's pain, frustration, unprocessed trauma, complex maternal bonds, and a shadow that gets triggered the moment someone truly sees them. When a woman looks at them with authenticity and depth, they feel naked, and many run away because they don't know how to hold that. Carl Jung said that what we do not make conscious appears in our lives as fate, and this applies in relationships more than in any other area. When you meet someone, your unconscious projects parts of yourself onto that person. You assign them qualities, ideals, unmet desires. You're not seeing the person as they are. You're seeing your mirror. And if you carry unhealed wounds or unconscious emotional patterns, you'll be drawn to someone who fits that image. For example, if deep down you believe you're not worthy enough for someone to stay, you'll likely be drawn to men who confirm that belief. Not because you want it to happen consciously, but because your psyche wants to replay that wound over and over until it finally heals. The man who is afraid of commitment often has an ambivalent energy. He shows depth, but then withdraws. He connects, but then isolates. This emotional roller coaster can become addictive, especially if there's a part of you that's also afraid of fully surrendering. Jung spoke of the anima and the animus, our inner feminine and masculine energies. When your animus, your inner masculine, is wounded or immature, you will project it onto men who represent it. Insecure, avoidant, fragile, sometimes manipulative men who are torn between staying and running away. And yes, it might feel unfair. Because you're opening up, you're seeking love, but the unconscious speaks its own language, and until you learn to understand it, it will keep leading you into the same kind of relationships. Every time someone pulls away from you without warning, when everything seemed to be going well, it's not a punishment. It's a message, a sign. Something within you needs to be revisited, understood, healed. Carl Jung said that meeting oneself is meeting one's own shadow. And these men who don't stay, who don't choose you, who don't commit, are portals to that shadow within you that you need to face. Because in that shadow lies the key to your own transformation, to understanding why you keep choosing from a wounded soul. How to break the pattern. Observe yourself without judgment. Every relationship you've had was a mirror. Ask yourself, what parts of me were being reflected in him? What beliefs or emotions did his behavior confirm? Work on your shadow. Jung encouraged bringing into consciousness the parts of ourselves that we repress. If there are aspects of you that feel unworthy of real love, that are afraid of being truly seen, or that feel they must save others in order to be valuable, these are parts of your shadow. 3. Examine your inner animus. How is your internal masculine energy? Is it demanding, critical, absent? The kind of men you attract often reflects the relationship you have with your own inner masculine. Strengthening that inner bond changes what you feel drawn to. Let go of the need to change him. Many women stay because they believe they can heal the man who is afraid of love, but he won't heal just because you love him. He will only change if he chooses to walk his own path. His growth is his responsibility, not yours. 5. Choose from your healed soul. As you begin to heal your relationship with yourself and integrate your own light and shadow, your attraction shifts. You stop idealizing the one who pulls away and start noticing the one who shows up and stays. You attract men who fear commitment, not because something is wrong with you, but because your unconscious is trying to resolve something, trying to understand and heal something. You are not broken. You are in a process, and if you choose to listen to it, this pattern can become the door to your deepest transformation. It's not about giving up on love. It's about choosing to love from a place where you also choose yourself. And as Carl Jung said, there is no coming to consciousness without pain. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own soul. But one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Are you ready to face that darkness and turn it into light?